This is intended to be everything that you need to get your email game on. All right? So let's talk about the game, because this is where it gets really interesting. There's no one set of rules for this game. How many of you tried email marketing? How many feel really confident in email marketing? Oh, okay, yeah. There's some funny faces being made out there. There's no one set of rules. It's not like I can hand you a guidebook and be like, this is how email marketing is done, right? And none of the players publish the rule book. So like there's individual players on this team. They don't publish anything. And there's no white paper that explains all of that spam filtering logic, right? And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. And so I want you to picture, now I don't know how your holidays look at home. This is not how mine look, okay? I mean, this is how we all like dreamt of a holiday looking, like, oh, this is gonna be beautiful.
Except for the drunk guy in the corner.
Except for the drunk guy in the corner, yeah, we'd have to see that. Okay, so this, we end up playing games when we have all of our family and friends over. Like this year, we actually are renting a cabin, and our family's coming to a place that's not ours. This is gonna be exciting. And we usually get out the poker chips and the cards, and we just start playing games and stuff. And again, it doesn't look like that, because here's how it really goes. Like, she's cheating. Right? No, well, he's not following the rules. This game is stupid. I'm not playing anymore. Right? You guys can relate, I hope. And so this is what it actually turns into, is something more like that. And this is every holiday. Every holiday, my family. I love my family, but there is always someone cheating, and there is always someone who's not following the rules. And so now we got to figure out how we're going to win this game, right? And it's similar. So if you're going to win this game, you have to know who are the players, what are the rules, which aren't published, right? And how is the freaking score going to be kept, right? So that's what I'm going to kind of walk through with you right now. So first, I just want to give you some perspective. And I don't know if you can see this real well, but this says 84.96% spam. This is the world's billions of emails. About 85% of the world's email is considered spam. Yeah, that's a little bit of an aha moment, right? And this is any given month. It doesn't matter what month you look at it. It's going to be between 84 and 86%, okay? Now, as consumers of email, as people who have email accounts, I'm sure we can all appreciate how bad that would be if it all showed up, right? And so I am thankful in some respects that there are rules and stuff back there that are keeping that from happening. Like we wouldn't even be able to use our email accounts if that was the case. And so we have to start looking at who the players in this game are, because we're a player and we want to make sure that we know how to play this freaking game, right? So the first player is going to be the receiving email provider, the ISPs. We're talking Google, Yahoo, Outlook, that kind of stuff, right? And then there's what we're just going to call the middleware. There's your email software that you're using. There's your SMTP that's on the back end, and I don't want you to worry about all the weird language we're using, because I'll bring that down to brass tacks here in a little bit. But there's tools that we're using, right? And then there's the recipient, all those people that we're sending to, all those contacts we desperately want, for people to open our emails and see them first and then open them, right? And then frickin' buy some stuff, that'd be nice. And then there's you, there's me, there's us, there's the marketers, right? We're trying to make this whole thing work. So these are the players that we're going to kind of focus on. And rule number one is every player plays by their own rules, right? And so if you're the recipient, and we are, let's think about our own email accounts. Like, how many thousands of emails might be in our own email account that we've never opened, right? Like, my number is pretty high. I'm sure a lot of you have really high numbers too. Some of you are probably the opposite. Like, I can't freaking have one in that little red circle. It can't even say one, or I need to fix it, right? Mine's 5 digits, okay? I'm just being honest. I'm the email girl, right? That's not a bragging thing. That's like, whoa. So the recipient gets to figure out what they're going to engage with and when, right? And they also get to choose if they're going to do any kind of routing, if they're going to apply labels to it, if they're going to put any filters in place, if they're going to have any other kinds of settings, like that hide my email thing that's coming. Yeah, that's here now. Okay, so, and they vote with the way that they act with your email. Like, are they acting on it? Are they not? Are they ignoring it? What are they doing? So all of their actions and inactions, how they're engaging, good, bad, or ugly, right? If they're marking something as spam, if they're deleting it, if they're ignoring it, if they mark it as important, if they star it. What if they delete your emails before they even open it? Now, there's not stats for all of this stuff, but all of this stuff definitely weighs in, and we all do it, right? So these are our rules, and we get to determine how we're going to do some stuff. The middleware, like the email software that you're using or the SMTPs on the back end, they have terms of use, acceptable use policies, whatever you want to call it. They require proof of consent or opt-in. They tell you what's prohibited in terms of content or behavior, and they also have some kind of a say in the volume and the speed that we can send, right? At any one time or even for a 24-hour period. Okay, so those rules are kind of like specific to the tools. And then there's the ISP, the Google's, Yahoo's, Outlooks, right? They want to protect their customer from spam. And I do believe that they want to do this because, frankly, they also want to own the market share. And if we don't have a good experience on that platform, we're going to go somewhere else, right? So they have rules about DNS authentication, all those, A, B, C, D, E, F, G records we have to put in, volume and consistency, how much can we send, how fast, the engagement, the people vote and they listen. So how people pay attention to your email is taken into account by like Google, and they go, okay, people like this, people don't like this. They make all kinds of, there's a lot of stuff happening on the back end. And then they review the entire thing from top to bottom, side to side, front to back. Every email you write is not just an email, it's everything in the email, it's the words and phrases you're using, it's the links you're sending, it's everything. Kind of like Facebook, right? Oh, I know. And then they have some restrictions on things you can or can't do. And then there's really the big thing here is that the ISPs make most of the rules. They're kind of like a parent. So we're going to start to think of them as a parent. I jokingly said on the way here that we trusted Uncle Google to get us here, and we ended up on that freaking Oregon Trail. If you saw what happened there, that was quite the ride. I'll share that with you on a break. But they are kind of like a parent, so it's more like Daddy Google, I guess, right? And so then there's us, and we're like, what rules? We just want to write the emails and send them. We don't, rules, schmools. We don't need any of this stuff. The code is more what you would call guidelines than actual rules, right? So finally, we're going to get to the score. The ISP has spam filtering logic, and they assign a reputation, and then they share stuff with some of those tools you're using on the back end through what's called feedback loops. And then the middleware monitors your stats, and they have rules about what you can or can't do within certain ranges of stats. They have behavioral logic, which is an oxymoron. And then there's the recipient that has personal preference. We all do, right? We either resonate with something or we don't. We like something or we don't. And then there's you, and we're looking at email stats. If we're smart, we're looking at some email stats. We also are looking at our conversions, and ultimately we're looking at revenue, right? So this is how we all keep score. Notice it's different for each player. All right, so the ISP uses spam filtering logic, reputation assignment, I'm using big terms now, okay, and a feedback loop. The middleware has like stat thresholds, and they look for what they call suspicious behavior. That's a fun one, because you're like, I'm suspicious? I didn't even know. What did I do, right? And then you guys have your stats, your marketing, sales, conversions, and the dollars. Sorry about that. Okay, here's what it looks like when we don't know what the frick. Like if we're trying to play this game, I don't play golf, by the way, so that probably would be me. But that's the email zero kind of side of this equation. And what we really want is to be an email hero. So that's why everybody's here, right? We want to conquer. Well, listen, I don't want to just be an email hero. Like when there's something that I need to get past, if there's an obstacle, if there's something that I need to like really nail, I don't want to just nail it. I want to freaking conquer it. And so that's why I'm here, is to help you do that.